Imagine waking up every day feeling like you're trapped. Not by walls, you see, but by the invisible chains of stability that squeeze the life out of ambition. Every piece of advice you hear screams, play it safe, stick to the rules, avoid chaos. But deep down, that safety feels like a cage. It's cold. It's suffocating. It's the slow death of everything that made you want to be an angel investor in the first place. Because in this world that so desperately craves conformity, stability isn't liberation. It's the very thing that kills your fire. You know the pain, the frustration that no matter how much you play by the rules, the system seems built not to reward boldness, but obedience, mediocrity, the decent blur that everyone's supposed to accept. You see startups molded into identical shapes, ideas sterilized, founders tamed, and you feel it, this burning desire for something real, something wild, something that creates true change. But here's the catch. Real change never comes from smooth roads. It comes from chaos, from disruption, from letting go of the illusion that stability will offer you control or peace. This is the secret that so few dare to admit out loud. Chaos is not a problem to be solved. It's the raw material of greatness. When an angel investor looks at a startup wrapped in chaos, a messy team, untested tech, wild ideas, markets nobody's dared to touch, they're not seeing risk, they're seeing opportunity. Because chaos means freedom. Freedom to unlearn what's normal, freedom to redefine the rules, freedom to create something no one else imagined. That's where the magic happens. You have to understand why this is so painful, yet so necessary. The world screams for comfort, but that's a lie wrapped in softness. Comfort breeds complacency. Stability breeds stagnation. You want to grow, to break barriers, to build what shakes the foundations of industries. And that path can't be neat. It can't be tidy. It's messy, unpredictable, even terrifying, but it's there. And if you shy away, you're choosing the slow death of your vision, the silent scream of your ambition fading into background noise. Think about it. Every time you've invested in chaos, in the too risky, the too unproven, you felt that pulse. Your heart racing because you know that inside that storm lies potential no quiet boardroom meeting will ever discover. You see what others don't because you refuse to be bound by their filters. You know that stability is a fantasy sold to keep you small, keep you safe, keep you silent. That's why angel investors are wired to crave chaos. Because chaos demands courage. It demands action when everyone else freezes. It demands you burn your maps and build your own way forward. It is the battlefield where the exceptional rise and the obedient fall. But here's the paradox that trips most people up. Chaos doesn't mean reckless. It means intentional. It means knowing where you want to go, but being ready, no, eager, to move through the messy, the unknown, the volatile. It's about mastering fear instead of letting fear master you. It's about embracing uncertainty as your closest partner, not your enemy. So how do you turn that chaos from a source of paralyzing anxiety into the fuel for unstoppable success? How do you make sure that when you invest in the chaos, you're not just gambling with blind faith, but stepping into the arena armed and ready? First, stop chasing false certainty. The world you're investing in is a storm, not a spreadsheet. When you try to force stability where it doesn't belong, you invite failure. Instead, train yourself to read signs buried in the noise. Look for founders who don't just react to chaos, they dance with it. Those who don't just survive in uncertainty, but use it to redefine their markets. You want warriors of chaos, not victims. Second, develop a radical patience that's not passive waiting, but powered endurance. Chaos is a long game. The noise will be deafening, the market will rage, the system will resist. But the moment you flinch, you hand control back to the same forces that keep innovation locked in cages. Stay steady, stay sharp, not by ignoring chaos, but by becoming part of its rhythm. Third, build your tribe with fierce care. Chaos is not meant to be faced alone. Align with founders and fellow investors awake enough to reject the comfort of consensus. Those rare few who burn with you, who fight not just for profit, but for the liberation of ideas that shake the world. Together, you amplify your power. Together, stability becomes an outdated concept, and chaos the new norm. Fourth, become a relentless student of transformation. Chaos evolves fast. Yesterday's formula fails tomorrow. Stop outsourcing your thinking to trends and systems designed for the status quo. Question everything. Ask the uncomfortable questions. When everyone else seeks permission from the past, carve permission from your own insight and courage. This is what makes you invaluable, not safe. Here lies the raw, electric truth. The world isn't broken because there aren't enough rules or stability. It's broken because it rewards obedience over rebellion, conformity over courage, comfort over fire. Angel investors who cling to stability are chaining themselves to a sinking ship disguised as safe harbor. Those who dare to love chaos, who crave it, who build from its unpredictable soil, they're the ones who break through, shape the future, and rewrite what's possible. Every moment spent fearing chaos, clinging to the illusion of control, is time lost, time spent shrinking instead of becoming. Every deal you avoid because it's messy is a door shut on the extraordinary. Every startup you doubt because it doesn't fit neatly into your plans is a world untouched. But here's what separates the rare from the rest: the refusal to accept this lie. To refuse to live a borrowed life, to refuse to bend instead of burn, to step into chaos armed with more than hope, with vision, grit, strategy, and a heart that beats for transformation. This is the sacred work of the angel investor destined to change the game. The next jump isn't about avoiding chaos, it's about mastering it, owning it, thriving in it. It's about waking up to the fact that you hold the weapon to tear down cages and build new spaces where true freedom lives. Stability is the promise of the past, chaos is the birth of everything new. Lean into that truth with everything you've got. Look for the founders who vibe with fire, not rules. Search for the ideas tangled in uncertainty, waiting for someone with the guts to ignite them. Be the investor who doesn't just fund a business, but sparks a revolution. Because chaos isn't the enemy, it's the fuel. It's the code to unlocking the world you know is possible, but most are too scared to chase. Feel that tension inside? That refusal to settle for a world that gifts you a calm surface while drowning your potential underneath? That's your signal to act. To own not just your investments, but the entire story you're telling about what's next. To break free from the comfortable lies and walk into the messy, electrifying, untamed wild where real progress is forged. The price of safety is silence. The cost of stability is invisibility. Choose instead to be loud, be wild, be the storm that disrupts the sleep of status quos, because the future doesn't belong to those who avoid chaos. It belongs to those who race toward it with eyes wide open and hearts on fire. Burn through the doubts, burn through the fear, burn through the old rules, and invest in chaos, not as a risk, but as the most powerful chance you have. Because in chaos, you don't just find opportunity, you become opportunity. You become the angel investor the world didn't know it needed but desperately craves. No more waiting, no more hiding. The fire inside you is real, it's yours, and chaos is calling. Will you answer?